Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon all. Welcome to TolerASEAN Youth Talk Show. This talk show will provided by Ruang International. So I just confirm about my voice is clearly.
Yes, clear.
Okay. Okay. First of all, there is a proverb that says unrecognized one love, isn't it right? So, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Gianli Manuel Bagensa. You may call me Gianli. Now I'm here as the master of ceremony of this event and also as the founder and executive director of Ruang International. I'm so such honor for me to welcome you all in this talk show. Um, Special International Tolerance Day. We celebrate together among ASEAN youth present here to talking together about tolerance in ASEAN. So all the speakers here come from Cambodia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, and also, of course, from Indonesia. So we will talk and discuss more about the tolerance in ASEAN related with other issue in its speakers country. So before we start our talk show session, I would like to inform you about this talk show will be talk about tolerance among ASEAN countries, and in the specific term is unity in diversity. So we have 5 speakers and also have 1 moderators. And I would like to inform you or to introduce you about our moderator today. She is Sudikse Ingrid, as the director of program and cooperation of Ruang International Indonesia. And now she still have taking as a students, professional students in engineering at Universitas Indonesia, and also she is active as a with many activities like now she's so busy to represent Ruang International Indonesia in Youth Collab Indonesia by UNDP and City Foundation. So I think Ingrid will be our expert moderator for this talk show. And I think this talk show will be very important to all of you from ASEAN countries, because as we know, ASEAN built based on various culture, various religions. So this is so important to talk and discuss with all of you guys. And the future of tolerance in ASEAN, there is a need youth contribution. and youth participation. So by this talk show, I hope all the ASEAN youth can continue their spirit to building one identity, one community, and one vision in ASEAN. So I think uh, I give this this time for Ingrid to continue our talk show. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother John Lee. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy International Tolerance Day for all of us. And today we're going to discuss a tolerance among us. Do you familiar with that sound, Among Us? We inspire from the game Among Us, where there is an imposter. Well, in the reality, the imposter, today we're going to share about intolerance towards behavior or something we do towards others. And the topic is tolerance in tolerance among Asian countries. We are all here Asian and we are all friends. And first, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Ingrid, and I'm going to moderate this talk show. And thank you for the honor, invitation, and chance to give to me for today. Well, today we have five speakers from Indonesia, Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines. Who should I introduce first? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna introduce you, Brother No Navi. He is in tourism management in Royal University of Phnom Penh as the four-year student. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you, Mr. No Navi. Hello, Mr. No Navi. Brother No Navi. Next talk Sabade.
Hi.
Hi. And our next speaker, I'm gonna introduce you, Brother Kendrick Go. He runs a small business, a volunteer of non-profit organization, and an alumni of Interfaith Asian Camp. Hello, Brother Kendrick. 你好吗?
Hello. Ni hao. Hi, everyone.
And I'm gonna introduce you, the beautiful speaker, of course. Aka Amira. Aka Amira is a master student of finance in University Technology Mara in Shah Alam. Halo Aka Amira. Apa
Halo.
kabar?
Kabar baik.
Aka Amira is a part-time worker too. Cool. And another beautiful speaker we have. Where is it? Okay, this one. Sister Celestial Brown Bernas. She is a Bachelor of Social Studies related to education in University of Mindanao, Philippines. Maligayang padati ate. Hello.
Hi everyone. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Ako nga pala si Celestial.
Salamat. Okay, and this one, last but not least, we have Brothers Randa Sandita. Oh, I'm sure everyone familiar with this name. He is the founder and executive director of Katalisator Muda Indonesia, an Asian youth change maker in 2019. He concerns about violence and extreme issues. So I welcome you, Mr. Randa.
Hello.
Hello.
It's my sister, right?
Oh,
I want to
okay.
say, guys.
So, because I have told you earlier that our team was inspired by the game, I'm gonna tell you the rules. I'm going to ask the speakers about some questions to the specific speakers, and the speaker will answer the question, but with no time limit. But if you or too long, I'm gonna cut it right away. Okay, how's that? Cool? And so, okay, without further ado, I'm gonna start with a question. Oh, I'm sounds like having your accent. So, Aka Amira, Sister Amira, this question is for you. What comes to your mind when you hear the word tolerance? And what does tolerance means to you? Would you like to share it with us, please?
All right. Okay, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Okay, when the word tolerance come to me, I think about the relationship that will happen if we didn't have same idea, we didn't have same perception or expectation, so we need tolerance. So actually, when I search the meaning of tolerance, is all about it can be positive and become and also negative, which is there are two models of tolerance actually, which is firstly it can be passive tolerance, which means accepting difference as factual, and also the second thing is the tolerance can be active tolerance, which means being involved with others in the midst of differences and variation. Okay.
Cool. Two
Yeah.
models of tolerance.
Yeah.
And what does tolerance mean to you in your personal life or something that you hold the most about tolerance? Aka Amira, Sister Amira.
All right. All right. Actually, tolerance is certainly is a process of accepting between two counterparts. Yeah. The fact of tolerance is living side by side peacefully and appreciating between variation that existed. It can be said that without tolerance, the people of different affiliation will not enjoy the harmony that of living together, either as a friend, relative, or partner or member. So tolerance means that every individual or community has the same right to acknowledge the right of others to have different opinion, desire, and behavior. Yeah.
Wow. So, okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Sister Amira? That's it.
For now, that's all.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
hear from our handsome speaker right here. Okay. How about you, Brother Kendrick? Any idea what when you first hear about word tolerance?
So for tolerance, right? I think when I first heard the word tolerance, what came to mind was mutual understanding, mutual respect. There has to be mutual. So there has to be consensus or an understanding that has been reached. So it's about accepting. The bigger part about tolerance is about accepting your differences uh, between one another. Also, um, to foster that to to increase that understanding and awareness that everyone is different, whether or not you like it or not, everyone is different. So uh, you have to understand that, and at the same time, you have to make the best out of it. So tolerance, to me, it's in that context, it's about uh, differences between one another, but you find the commonalities that bind you together. That's tolerance.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Because yes, thank you. So according to Sister Amira and Brother Kendrick, we got a new perspective about tolerance, understanding, accepting side because we live side by side and we have to have a mutual. Speaking of mutual, I'd like to ask a question to Brother Randa. Which one is more important, interreligious tolerance or intercultural tolerance? Is there any other kind of tolerance beside that one? What do you think about that?
Sorry, Ingrid, I can't hear you clearly. Like the signal is quite bad. Can you repeat?
Oh, okay. Which one is more important, interreligious tolerance or intercultural tolerance? Is there any other kind of tolerance besides that one?
Yeah, people might seem confused like, when we talk about intercultural or interregions,
Yes.
when we speak about tolerance, right? I think I'd like to agree with our brother before that tolerance means the idea of understanding others, the idea of how we can have mutual understanding, respecting others' indifferences, something like that. But if we talking about which one is more important between interreligion or intercultural, um, I would like to say both because I could pick and choose between that. Interculturals meaning that every one of us in ASEAN, of course, especially Indonesia, we have a different culture, we have different perspective, and each of us, each province, have their own differentiation in terms of culture, and it goes hand in hand with their practice of religions also. You if in Indonesia you can see that there's a difference in practice of Islam in Aceh and Islam in Java. It's quite a difference, and also a different practice also between Islam in Indonesia and also Islam in Malaysia because they kind of mix it in intercultural. But if you're talking about which one is more important, I could say all of it is important. All we need to do is we need to enhance our tolerance values. We need to enhance our empathy to others and respects our differences. And that's how we could create a inclusive society, I think.
Okay, do you have anything about tolerance beside that too, interreligious or intercultural? You like to
I think
describe to us?
two of them is the basics one, right? If we're going to talk a lot more in further details, there'll be a tolerance in terms of conflict resolutions and how we going to deal with violence and so on. But most of the challenges in terms of conflicts and violence always come from the intercultural differences and interreligious tolerance, something like that. So I think we need to understand that first in a moment. We need to understand further what's the meaning of it and how we could implement it in our life before we talk a lot more further about specific issue on how it could create or trigger something or tension in our society.
Okay, thank you, Brother Randa. And I'd like to know the perspective about the same question to Sister Celestial. What do you think? Which one is more important, interreligious or intercultural? Or maybe you have another kind of tolerance in your mind right now? Would you like to share it with us, please?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, clear and
Thank you.
crystal.
Okay, so I believe that people are entitled to their own belief, and I don't see that there's a need to prioritize among the two. Both are capable of like making things more meaningful, like in interreligious, especially here in Philippines, there are Islam, Christians, and other denominations. Each religion has its own struggles when it comes of connecting with people, and they have their own contribution to our society as well. And whether I agree with their beliefs or not, I try not to impose my beliefs over them nor fail not to recognize their beliefs. That's the importance of tolerance and intercultural here in Philippines. There's a lot of interesting cultures over time here in my country, and over time, I think as a forward-thinking individual, it's important to understand our values, our perspectives, and even our past to make a progressive decision in the future. So that's it.
Okay. Do you have any in your mind about any other kind of tolerance besides that two kinds? No.
Yeah, I just to be specific, especially in religion, like especially that here in Philippines, we welcome every kind of religion. Like when you go to a park and you're suddenly approached by a young people, and that young people brings her, like Bible, and talks about their God, about like Jesus Christ will save you, and I may have like share the same thing like Jesus Christ our Savior, but we don't share, like in general we don't have the same way of practicing our beliefs. But I do allow them to, like I do allow them to share their uh practices or beliefs, because I am open to any uh I, I am open to any kind of, like welcoming other beliefs from other people. It's not like putting myself in a box and like imposing my beliefs that our belief is more superior to others, because it doesn't have to work that way. Because like tolerance, we are open to diversity, we're open to, like differences, and we have to embrace it. So if we're going to talk about, and we have to consider tolerance, and if we're going to talk also about culture, especially here in Philippines, there are three large islands like Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And especially here in Mindanao, Luzon might have their own way of life or way of living, and also here in Mindanao we also have our own way of living. But it doesn't mean that when we go to Manila, like it's the capital city in Luzon, like it doesn't have to be like, like you're from Mindanao and you have this kind of culture, you have this kind of practices. Um, it's like working and like putting harmony and in a new environment. So that's how I, like embrace tolerance. So I hope I make myself clear.
Okay. So in the second question, we have the same answer, the mutual, about it's the basic of the tolerance, interreligious and cultural. So we can
Yeah.
consider, yeah. And then
Yeah. So
let's
I don't think
move.
like it's not sorry.
Okay, thank you, Sister Celestial. Okay, we're gonna move
Yeah.
on to the next question. This is for Brother Navy. Are you ready?
Yes.
Because this question is the ASEAN identity built from the successful form of a spirit of tolerance in various kinds of differences?
Okay. You hear me?
Yes, crystal and clear.
Yeah. So, essentially, my for your question, a good question. For in ASEAN country, you can call ASEAN membership. We have 10 countries.
Yeah.
But for the culture, for the religion, we have different also, right? And I think the tolerance for the ASEAN identity to be a very success. And right now in the future, we can it is good for the tolerance in ASEAN, and unless we are different countries, we are different religion, we are different culture, but we can combine together about the understanding about the religion. For example, when I go to Thailand, when I go to Vietnam, I want to share about my culture. I want to share about my religion. So the Vietnamese people, they can understand about my religion, about my culture. So we can combine, we can understand about the knowledge from each other in ASEAN membership. So this is the key of the successfully for the ASEAN cooperation, ASEAN identity. If we have tolerance, we have focus on the something that very important for the combine together. If we don't have the tolerance in ASEAN identity, ASEAN membership, we have the peaceful. We don't have the peaceful. We don't have the successfully in ASEAN cooperation. In ASEAN country, we have 10 countries. So I think unless it is different, but we can talk about the tolerance together when we have the meeting as well as ASEAN summit in Vietnam currently, so we can talk about the issue, about the solution, about the problem in the country, and we can understand about the tolerance together in ASEAN membership. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Brother Navi. Oh, sharing is caring, right? Okay, what do we say? Let's hear from the other side, from Sister Amira. Would you like to share with us? Is the ASEAN identity built from the successful form of a spirit of tolerance in the various kinds of differences? I'm
All right. Okay, same question, right?
yes,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that the Asian identity build up the form of success from the spirit of tolerance amidst differences, such that I have searched, and in Asian, there are aims and purpose of Asian that be listed, and all the aims and the purpose are in line with right now, which mean the principle, the aim is very make the Asian become tolerance in same objection, same objective. I mean, sorry. So I can see that the fundamental principles from the Asian also that been contained in the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asian in 1976, which have a lot of things that highlighted here, which like mutual respect for the independence, equality, and national identity of all nations, and it's make that Asian can be tolerant in many ways. So actually, Asian community right now have the apa living in peace, stability, and prosperity, which is bonded together in partnership, in dynamic development, and in a community of caring society. Yeah.
okay. Thank you, Sister Amira. In this question, again, I hear another mutual that we have to share about issue problems so we can understand. Because as we remember back in 1976, ASEAN has a lot of things right, so we can live in peace together until right now. Well, I'm sure that we are aware about that, right, everyone? Okay, so let's continue. This question will be a long one. Oh, let's ask Brother Kendrick, how does tolerance appear and develop in your country? And what are the intolerance problems in your country? And how do you and government see the intolerance problems? Would you like to share to us about something about tolerance in Singapore, please? Brother Kendrick, do you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. I was in a discussion earlier. I didn't
Okay.
get your question. Can
Oh,
you just repeat it for me? Sorry, my bad, my bad.
okay. Okay. How does tolerance appear and develop in your country? What are the intolerance problems in your country? And how do you and government see those intolerance problems?
So for the country that I'm in, Singapore's perspective, I can't speak on the government's behalf, but the the problems probably that they face come in the form of it's not personal, it's not physical, it's on social media rather. So the problems come in when sometimes there is a bit of public outcry on certain issues, not pertaining to any certain race, religion, or ethnicity, but um, some. In fact, the recent one was over a foreign domestic worker who was wrongly accused of stealing from her employer. So there was considerable public outcry online, and uh, in fact, the government has come out to say and explain why they did certain why they made certain calls at certain point in time to actually answer to the public. Yeah, I hope that answers a bit of your question. Does it? Ingrid?
Okay, so in your point of view, how do you solve about the problem, or maybe you might suggest a solution about that problem? Because the first one you share about the government, and how about yourself?
Okay, so from a personal perspective, as a citizen, what I can do is firstly, in events like this, firstly, check your source. Do not disseminate fake information. That's number one. That's the most important one. Secondly, it's to understand uh, what is causing the problem. Is it the public itself, or is it uh, parties who are trying to um, stir unrest? So if it's the public, then for your own within your own circle of friends, within your family members, what you can tell them is from your own perspective. Oh, this is so and so why the event happened, and stay tuned to official updates. No, and let's not speculate. So do not create further unrest, or do not spread further misinformation. Yeah, that's what you can do in the capacity of a citizen. Uh, yeah,
Good.
sounds about it for me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Father Kendrick. Well, this question, wow, I'm gonna ask next is Sister Celestial. Would you like to share to us about how tolerance appear and develop in your country, the problems of intolerance, and how do you and government see those intolerance problems in Philippines, of course. Please.
Okay, so I'm so sorry for the dog that barks.
Yeah.
I'm still a student, so I'm not yet fully aware on the wide range of our country's action towards tolerance. My main core really focuses on women's rights. That's close to my heart, and we are allowed to vote here, and we are allowed to go to school. We're allowed to wear any clothes that we want to wear, and but there's a recent bill like No Child Rights Act. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's how the right name for that. It's still a bill or right now or it becomes a law. But if I'm not mistaken about it, because here in my country, especially in some rural or slum areas, where girls are forced to marry at a very young age in return to a big sum to help their family who's terribly affected by poverty. Like it's sad that I grew up that I am able to recognize my rights and my worth as a human being. And however, these young girls have to deal with this. When we're talking, when I mentioned about this bride acts that will protect these young girls for like brides young girls, some I think like it's I'm not sure, but I think like using word some is not enough to estimate, because I think like it's if I'm going to check this statistics of the number of girls who are forced to marry at a very young age, is very alarming. And it makes me feel sad because like at their young age they're supposed to go to school, they're supposed to enjoy their like being a kid, being a young girl, and explore a lot of things in life, but they're forced to marry, they're forced into that kind of life, and like they're not yet still into that. They're supposed to go to school, but they're forced to do so in return to a big sum, and you have nothing to do. Like as a kid, when your parents are going to force you to into that kind of act, you have no choice. But like most of them will cry, but at the end of the day, they're going to marry like some old man, and in return, their family will reserve like, I think, like what from what I heard from people around me, like 25,000 in Philippine peso. I'm not sure if how much it costs in your country, but like imagine that your value as a woman is put into that kind of amount. Like for me, like if I'm 14 years old and my parents were going to sell me at that kind of, like they're going to sell me at 25,000. It's really disgusting, and it really insult me as a human being. So that's it.
Okay, okay, sorry. I got carried away. Oh my god. As a woman, I know how to. Oh, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
really.
So, how the government um perspective about that issue, and how do you see that one? Maybe you have any idea solution about that one, because married at a young age, it will cause a mortality.
Yeah, I'm glad that this act right now is recognized, and a lot of my friends are sharing this news that this act is, like to protect those young girls who are victims. And I think like this is not only the problem of selling young girls, but there are also a lot of things that every young girl experience, like human trafficking, like selling your. I'm not sure. I forgot what exact how the what exact term for, like selling yourself on social medias. And yeah, for me, like I as a student right now, I'm currently taking education. I really believe in the importance of investing on the values of educating our young girls, because for me, in my own way, education, it really helps me to recognize my value as a human being. And I know that as a teacher, it's my job someday to educate like in my class, they will go grow old and go work and find their, like they're going to work in their own jobs. But I wanted to put in their minds that whenever you work, you should not just work just because it's your profession, but it's also you should also use it to like protect or stand out. Use your voice to help other who are in need, especially these young girls. And I really wanted to like educate every young girl that like you should recognize your worth and fight for your rights. That's it.
Okay. Oh, that's a long solution one. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sister Celestial, and I hope the solution will work soon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the same question to Brother Nafi.
Mm.
So, would you like to share with us how does tolerance appear and develop in Cambodia? What are the intolerance problems, and how do you and government see those intolerance?
Okay. Okay. Are you hear me?
Yes, clear and clear. Clear, crystal and
Okay.
clear. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your good question. I think for the develop in Cambodia as my country, maybe you know.
Yes.
For the tolerance, it's very important to develop in the country. We can focus on the economy. Economy in Cambodia, we can develop in the society, in the country. We have private sector as well public sector. Public sector, we can explain about the national, the national to develop like as the road, like as the bridge, like as the infrastructure in Cambodia. We can see how to develop the country via economy. And for the outside sector or we can private sector, because in Cambodia we have private sector to develop as well, like as a company, a national company as well. And from the outside, we can investment from the investor like Japan like Singapore, like Malaysia, like China as well, or US. When the outside investor invest the building, the economy in Cambodia, so the tolerance we can go together to develop the economy in Cambodia. For the answer, I go to make the problem. The tolerance in Cambodia, I want to know about the some people, Cambodian some people, they don't understand more important about the tolerance in relationship, right? They don't know about the tolerance in relationship in Cambodia. For some people in Cambodia, no, not all. Because it is the problem when they don't know about the importance of the tolerance, it is a negative impact for the development in the country, in the society. And as well, I don't know why they don't know, because I think maybe they don't go to school, or they don't have enough the money to support their study. Maybe they go to the not understanding about the tolerance. And for the government to solve, or to solve the problem about the tolerance, the government can be issue, can be announcement for the importance of the tolerance via the social media, via the through the under the working large. We can pass the information to the provincial government, to the leader in the village as well, because when we issue the announcement for the importance of the tolerance, the government, it is the first important for the issue, the important the government to the Cambodian people. So government can display about, or can show about the tolerance, about the combination of the tolerance to the Cambodian people via the social media, or via something platform as well. So these are for the problem and the solution for the government can do in the Cambodian society. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Brother Nafi. Wow, so the problem in Cambodia now that citizen doesn't know about the tolerance impact.
Yeah.
Wow, a harsh one. So next, I'd like to know, because this question makes me enthusiastic, want to know about the tolerance in Malaysia. Sister Amira, would you like to share with us how does tolerance appear, develop in your country, the problems of intolerance, and how do you and government see those intolerance? Please.
All right. Actually, in Malaysia, there's a lot of issues, but I'm focusing on one issue, which is Malaysia have some cases that arise because of the cultures, and then in uh, we have we have a former prime minister, which is Datuk Najib Razak, which is I know he is popular because of the cases, some cases, but there are something that he make inspired to Malaysia, which is the words of One Malaysia, which he made Malaysia with multiracials and multi-ethnicity and all become unity because of the word of One Malaysia. That is a issue that arise, and what the government have respond with the issues is make one word, which is One Malaysia, that make our country become unity, right?
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
a simple one. And how do you see from your perspective, Sister Amira, about that issue?
Okay, about the issue for me, I like the words "What Malaysia" because it make we have Indian, we have Chinese, we have Malay, and have others in Sabah Sarawak also, which is Kadazan Dusun, Iban. We all use the words and make we feel we become stronger because like we have some one words that make we unity. So the words is very, very like wow. And I like the words.
I like to hear that one too, and it sounds cool to me. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Sister Amila.
All
And
right.
still the same question, I'd like to ask Brother Randa, how does tolerance appear and develop in Indonesia? How are the intolerance problem, and how do you and government see those intolerance? Wow.
For such questions, though,
Yes.
well, we as the nation, we're kind of proud, like saying that unity in diversity, and this is also as part of our constitution too, right? In terms of tolerance, well, we do have a certain value in our local society that respects each other. That's the first point. But currently, there are a lot of challenges in Indonesia too. The challenges are, discriminations toward a minority, especially on LGBTQ and the minority religions and so on. And that's kind of challenge that Indonesia uh, face right now. And how the government react to this. uh, Before this, I was being invited to have an audience with the presidential council on how to talk about public policy on how youth can be a role model and as a core power in countering violent extremisms and countering violence, and also as a youth peace catalyst in their own community. And yet we found out that Indonesia still have a lot of problems, especially in our regulations in promoting the practice and promotion of tolerance itself. Because because our diversity, each province have their own challenges. Each province have their own different values and so on. And there's also the challenge in practice that being held by our local communities, in which there's some cases in certain part of Indonesia that prohibited some religion to help their religion practice and their religion is and so on. And that's still kind of challenge in Indonesia. For your information, I do notice that maybe some of you already read the news about what happened in Indonesia right now about our tolerances. But in the positive side, we still held a strong grips about the value of tolerance. We still respectful. We still um, respect others. We still respect our differences that we have. And we as a youth in Indonesia always promoting the value of tolerances. We also doing our social media campaigns with our concern or not. But suddenly in our social media like Instagram, Facebook, as you can see in your maybe in your friends' contents and so on, they suddenly share stuff like tolerances, respect others' perspective, and so on. I think that's really good things that happens in Indonesia right now, despite the issues that happens. Yeah, this is a kind of challenge in Indonesia right now.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Randa. Wow, that was a long one and described all the problems in Indonesia. Well, I heard the same words from our speakers about the intolerance problems in our speakers' countries, and they brought up how to solve and give a solution about social media. So the next question I'd like to ask to all the speakers, maybe in a short sentence. Wait a minute, where is it? How does? Okay, this one. I believe every country still has the basic essence of tolerance because we are going to avoid the conflict, right? And then, uh, as the millennial generation, what is the important role that we need to be done? And which one is the more important? Seeing the differences as opportunity or determining regarding tolerance phase in the digital era? Maybe like using social media like you are mentioned or something else. And starting from Brother Nafi, would you like to share with us?
Thank you very much. So you asked me about the role play in young generation, right?
Yes, and which one is the most important? Seeing the differences as the opportunity or determining the problems in digital era?
In digital area, right?
Yes, because
Okay.
you mentioned social media as well.
Yes, for the tolerance in Cambodia, the young generation in Cambodia, they can use the social media like the digital era in this era in this society. Because in Cambodia we have many platform like Facebook, like Instagram, like other platform in the social media in the society, Cambodian society. So in Cambodian society, we can use easy for the digital platform or digital era. So for the tolerance, when the Cambodian use the young generation, they know about the tolerance. They know about the importance of the tolerance, about the impact of the tolerance. Then they can post in the social media like Facebook. When they post in the Facebook, all the Cambodian people or some Cambodian people, young generation, they know about the tolerance. So if they know about the tolerance, they can stop anything that impact negative impact to the Cambodian people or to the Cambodian society. If they know more about the importance of tolerance, so the Cambodian people know about it, they can stop negative impact on the Cambodian society, like as the drug, like as the no relationship. So when they post in the Facebook about this, about important the tolerance, the young generation they know about this. If they don't know about the tolerance, when they open the Facebook, they can see about the tolerance. So I think the digital era is very important for the young generation in Cambodia, like digital era, 2020. We don't go to the last time, 90 or 75 as well. It doesn't go to like this because right now 2020, so the digital era, digital society, we can know everything about the tolerance. So the young I encourage the young generation should use the digital to promote the tolerance in Cambodian society. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Brother Nafi. So that means that young generation should determine the problem first and then use the digital era as wise as possible.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to know the perspective about the question from Brother Randa. Would you like to share with us? Okay.
Like how we see the tolerance in new era and how we as the youth could perceive it as opportunity or not. Well, we as millennials across Asian, I believe that every each of us still getting really excited to see or hear the word of collaborations, right?
Yes, of
Every
course.
one of us, right? That's what
And
kind of similarity that we have in ASEAN as ASEAN youth. That's why we sees that diversity is not a problem at all. It's not a challenge at all because we see it as opportunities on how we could collaborate each other and on how we could collaborate our ideas to make our place a better place for everyone. Just like the ASEAN songs, right? We care, right? We dare to dream, we care to share, right? That's how we could see it in this current era. And we as the youth have really tremendous power with our finger right now, with our hands. just use your phone. You do have your social media in any platform that really famous in your countries. Maybe in Indonesia they have Instagrams. Maybe in Philippines, Facebook is much more famous than Instagrams. You can share stuff like make a positive content and share stuff about what is tolerance with you and how you see diversity in such tense in your perspective. I think that could boost our environment and boost our community to create a lot more inclusive community, or maybe like inclusive youth community at first, and it could spread out, and the impact is really wonderful if we see it in the next year or something, or in the next in the next 2 or 3 years later on. It's always start with the power of the youth. That's why if you ask me how we see uh, diversity, yeah, I think I would like to represent ASEAN youth on this. We see diversity as a opportunity to collaborate with each other and to create change to make a better place for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too, Brother Anda. Cool one, opportunity. And I'd like to know the perspective from Philippines. Sister Celestial, would you like to share with us?
Yes. Can you please repeat the question to me?
Oh, okay. Um,
Thank you.
what is the important role that needs to be done as millennial generation, and which one is more important? Seeing the problems or differences as opportunity, or determining the problems regarding the tolerance?
Okay. So, I don't see myself as millennials because I'm under Generation Z, but I do consider that the millennials in my country. I'm so sorry for the like the dog outside that bark. Okay, so the millennials here is they guide us with their values. They learned in their time, and they help us face life in a way that we're still growing and they're at their age when they have experience, if not more, but have gone through and have witnessed the reality of life. That's how I want to see the millennials to Generation Z, like guiding us what they learned from life. Because to be honest, if we're going to talk about how the digital community works here in Philippines, I think like I wanted to see the problem, and at the same time while seeing the problem, I want to take it as an opportunity to to connect with people around me who wanted to create solution. Because to be honest, we are digitally divided here when it comes to the opinions of from millennials and Gen Z, because I'm using both Instagram and Facebook, and I also use I'm really sorry for the dog. Okay, so can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. What
Oh,
I hear is about you see both determining and seeing the problems as the opportunity to connect and create solutions, right?
yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
because like I mentioned earlier about the problems of like some of young girls in my country, I was able to see that because I was able to see the stories of other people they shared on Facebook. I'm able to read the news, and not just the news, because I would like also to like not just rely on news, but I wanted also to hear documentary. So it's really that what I heard and read on documentaries really happened in real life. So I see it as like as a way as well of connecting with people around me who wanted to like to, despite of this I don't want to romanticize these problems because they're really bothering and really affect our lives, and that's why I see this problem as an opportunity to help. And that's why I'm happy to be part of this like talk show, because we're using this technology to like not just share our perspective about tolerance, but aside from that, able to like voice out the concern from one country. So that's why I'm really eager to share this problem in in every young girl. So yeah, I already mentioned it, and I don't want to discuss more about the political side in our digital world here, digital world here in my country, because I think maybe because I'm using Twitter and Facebook, and I'm able to see that we're really digitally divided. And I don't want to talk more about it, but yeah, but I wanted to focus more on my core, which is helping girls. So that's it. I see problem as an opportunity to create solution and build connection with people who wanted to help. That's it.
Wow. Low one, I'm sure that is the most urgent problems according to Sister Celestial. So next one, I'd like to hear from the perspective of Brother Kendricks. Would you like to share with us? Please, in a short one. Brother Kendricks,
Um,
can you hear me?
a one-line answer, but yeah, I can hear you. Um, so the so your question was about could you repeat?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
No, unfortunately. Brother Kendricks, are you there? Or maybe we should move first
Yeah,
to,
can
oh,
you hear me?
a little bit.
A little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your question again?
The important role of the millennials, young generation, about something to be done about the tolerance, and which one is more important, determine the problems or seeing that as opportunity during this digital era.
I think instead of focusing on the problem, you focus on the solution, the commonalities that you have, and then you work from there to find a solution that benefits everyone. That one would be better than just harping on the problem and not making a change. And I think it's something in it for millennials to do changes. Yeah, so change is important, but at the same time, keep in mind what the change is for. Don't change just for the sake of change.
Okay, that's it. Because cannot hear it clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because Brother Kendrick said focus on the solution. Let's see what is the perspective from Sister Amira. Sister
All right.
Amira,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay.
Okay. For my answer, actually, I choose to see the challenges that are being faced, because the more important is we must know that problems cannot be done if we not solve the problem, and the problem can be long lasting if no action we make our country become harmony and united. So we need to see the challenge and solve the problem rather than taking advantage of the opportunities. Right?
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
so much. Wow, we have a lot of new perspective today, and that's the question I'm going to ask the speakers. I'm gonna open the Q&A session to the audience. As we know that we have a lot of kind of tolerance that we have discussed, like about the gender equality, interreligious, cultural, and please, anyone would you like to ask to the speaker? You can open your mic, write on the chat box. Anyone? No? anyone doesn't want to ask, I have tons of questions to ask them. Is it okay?
Hi.
Yes, please. Yes,
Is it audible?
already introduce. Um,
Can you hear
um,
me? No?
not really. Would you
Really?
like to introduce yourself first? And
Hello. Hi. Is it
hi.
audible now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, hi. My name is Aman or Nuzati Amani. I am from Malaysia.
Oh, hello, Nurzati.
Hi. So like for now, my question is quite simple. Um, like I cannot like really recall which one is talking about the inter-religion or intercultural tolerance, right?
Sorry.
Uh, just before this, some of the speakers are the some of the speakers are saying about the intercultural or interreligious tolerance. Am I right?
Yes, we discussed
So
about it to Brother Ado at
okay,
the first one.
okay. So like for me, I want to ask the speaker is himself. Do you agree that the interreligious or intercultural tolerance is kind of like not applicable for people that are maybe like is like a good person, but like he's a someone that are open. For example, like he doesn't like really like cultural guy, or he doesn't really like in like some of like religion. He doesn't really believe in God. So for me, do you like think that it's like interreligious tolerance or intercultural tolerance is applicable to that kind of person? Do you get my question, or is it not?
Unfortunately, not because it's the
Okay,
first.
so okay, don't worry. I think I will just write in the chat.
Okay,
Okay, thank
sorry.
you. Sorry, no, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. I'm going to. Oh, okay. We are going to wait for the question. I'm sorry, guys. The signal seems like too bad. I still hear the fuzzy one. Can you
Sorry,
read the
Ingrid. I
question
think I
now?
got a bit of the question earlier.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you for helping me.
yeah, maybe I can answer a bit on that because
Thank you.
the maybe what Zati was saying earlier that is that if someone doesn't subscribe to a faith or someone is atheist maybe doesn't believe in the existence of God. So what happens to someone in that perspective is that uh, tolerance is still applicable. Why not? As long if the person believes in the concept of peace and he or she wants to keep the peace in society. So as long as the person believes that ideology, then tolerance will always exist.
So that's
Yeah,
it.
because I think that was what I think she just typed the question out already. Is it? Maybe you can check in the chat.
Okay. Wait a minute. If intolerance always exists. Wait. This is not from. Oh my god. Okay. Should we move or waiting for Sister Rosati to write?
Just move, just move, just move. It's okay, just move. I think can you answer my question?
Oh, already?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Because,
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
okay.
I mean
It's okay.
that's from my perspective. I can't answer on behalf of Randa. I can't answer on behalf of
Okay.
Nave. I can't answer on behalf of Sister Amira.
Yeah,
So
but
maybe and Sister Celeste. So maybe you need to get their intake on this. Yeah, their input on this. Maybe I don't know. See who wants to speak on this.
thank you so
So I
much.
think the question was if someone is an atheist, doesn't believe in God, doesn't subscribe to any faith, uh, if the concept of tolerance applies. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Sister Norazati.
Nursati?
Yeah.
So for me, it's quite correct how of it because like for me, I believe in mutual tolerance, which is I respect you and you respect me regardless of you believing in any religion or you practicing any cultural part. So for me, it's not about interreligious tolerance or inter cultural tolerance. It's more on the mutual tolerance. I respect you, you respect me. It's just like give and take part.
Oh, so it's about interreligious and intercultural give and take,
Yep.
and you wanna hear the perspective from the speakers, right?
Yes, because like he is saying about he believed
Interreligious.
that it is both things.
Okay.
Inclusive.
So, thank you so much for repeating the question. Okay, Brother Randa, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I can answer that. Thank you, Jati, for the questions. That's quite interesting though, because um, yeah, some people quite confused if they're being served the term of that in which categorize it toward itself, like intercultural and interreligious. What's the meaning of it actually? Why people categorize this as it is, and how does it affect in its implementation in our society? But for sure, as your understanding, I do agree with you. For me, tolerance is all about mutual understanding that we respect each other. I respect you and respect me, and so on. And of course, there's also boundaries on tolerance itself. Where sometimes there's certain thing that we cannot tolerate in our society, and some behavior that cannot tolerate itself. Uh, but in your case, that in response to your questions, how about the people or individual that do not worship or any gods or do not involve any certain part of religion or do not believe anything in terms of cultural. I believe in this term of tolerance that we talk about more like a value of the tolerance itself. What's the meaning? The tolerance in their own values, because in our when we're born in our family, we've been given the value itself, whether we conscious or not about it. But that is where our tolerance come from. That's from our family. That's I think that's also uh, the basic of your understanding. When you say tolerance is about respecting others, you respect me and respect you, and we could go hand in hand to achieve something. And I think that that's also true. But if you're quite confused about intercultural and interreligious tolerance, I think you might need a lot more references about it, because I don't want to say is that I'm not quite agree with it, because I'm not quite an expert in terms of interreligious or intercultural tolerance on dialogue. But I could say that I do really agree with you. For me, tolerance is all about respecting each other, respecting other belief, respecting what they have in mind perspective, and by that we could create a lot more inclusive society, and as a youth you could cooperate together and achieve something even better. That's for me.
Okay, so Brother Randa said that he is totally agree with the statement from Sister Nuzati, but we have to see further and wider about the tolerance. Okay, is there any other question that would you like to send to the speakers through chat box? Wait, let me see. I have this one from Rian Anissa. She asked, did the speakers agree if intolerance always exists when tolerance exists in society? Because everyone has different thoughts and identities, the hardest thing to equate those thoughts. Whom should we ask? Let's see. How about Akamira, Sister Amira, would you like to share the answer about the question? Do you agree if intolerance always exists when tolerance exists?
Yeah, actually, yes. There's people that intolerance and in the society, which some people have their own perspective or their own expectation. So will someone can adapt with some environment and someone cannot adapt with some environment. So tolerance is actually needs to have in their own self actually, because of that people need to have the ability to deal with the disagreement because of intolerance. When you feel yourself intolerance of someone else, remember the following insight, which is they can help you deal with yourself and others in order to cultivate the benefits of a life filled with tolerance and stillness. And keep in mind that your feelings are your own, and that you have the right to self mastery in your life, just as the other person have sovereignty over themselves. And you must check your ego, because someone will have their own ego, which mean they cannot intolerance with something, and someone they can lower their ego because they feel tolerance is important more. So yeah.
Cool. We have to check our ego first.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Amira.
All right.
How about Sister Celestial? What do you think? Do you agree with the statement? Intolerance always exists when tolerance exists.
This is the thing about tolerance. Like if tolerance exists in society, meaning that people accept the differences of one another. So this is if your tolerance, like if I think like it comes from an individual to recognize the differences in the society, because I think it if we're going to put it in a collective like in a collective way, it's really a challenging thing, because like I don't know how I'm going to put this into words, but um here is it, because like when we talk about tolerance, in my own understanding, like you're being open to differences, you're being open to diversity, like we recognize that the minority groups, we recognize that there are really different beliefs, and there are people who really believe in God, there are people who believe in maybe this group believe in God, but they don't share the same, like they don't have the same gods. And there are people who really don't believe in God. And like we're if we're going to think the society, it's really diverse, and it's like not if you're a tolerant person, it's not like you're putting yourself in a box. And the challenge sometimes is that our values, when our perspectives is attacked by other people, like when they come to us and like approach their beliefs, um how do we deal with them? How do we recognize their beliefs? How do we like we feel like we're attacked, like it personally attack us? How do we handle with this? I think like here comes the healthy discourse, because if you're a tolerant person, you don't just like react irrationally, like by emotion,
Yeah,
but
I got
you're
it.
being open at the time, like this person, his beliefs are his or like their beliefs are affected but by where they came from. And it's really like being open minded, and healthy discourse, like exchanging of like perspectives and recognizing the differences. And at the same time, while recognizing that the differences, you're able to like I don't quite sure if compromising really works, because in my own understanding also, if I'm a tolerant person, I really don't want to impose my own belief to everyone around me, like, hey, I don't believe in this, I believe in this. I really don't want just okay, like that's your belief, okay, that's it. Because I really agree with the other speakers. They said like mutual respect, like I have this my own perspective, this is how it affect me, this is how like um how I act towards this society. It's here's the thing that you're going to do when like when you meet these people who are going to share their you're going to recognize the differences, being open, and like healthy discourse. You can have a healthy discussion with one another, and I think like it's a good way also where you can both found your common ground. And that's it, being open and respect is really a big thing. Because other people, most of the people I saw on Facebook, I really saw a lot of comments, especially in the comment section, right? Like there's a certain post and it's challenged a lot of ideas from different people, and you can see that other people are not talking or really like it's funny sometimes that you saw them, like they're not focusing on the issue, but rather they're attacking the person, under personally. So it's like really respect and focus on what really matters. So that's it for me.
Okay, I'm gonna conclude the answer from Sister Celestine that we have to be open-minded and then respect and try not to force others with something we believe. Is it? Okay. Thank you, Sister Celestine. We are going to continue. A question from Carteni. She'd like to ask what standards or recommendation in tolerances were used by the current generation. The standard of tolerance in current generations. What do you think about that, Brother Nevi?
Okay, thank you for your question. From the audience. The question asks about the young generation, right? On the tolerance
Yes, the standard of tolerance. Is
standard
there
of.
any standard or something like boundaries?
Okay, so the standard are like a boundary for the tolerance. The people, I think, the people in the society, we must have the tolerance, because the tolerance we can adopt to live in the society. Like if you saw the people have disrespect language or bad attitude, we can tell the people like you are not good for your attitude, you are not good for your the respect language for the older. When the people meet the older, they don't respect, so we can tell them, we can tell her, or we can tell about the importance of the tolerance. Why you don't respect to the older people? Why you don't respect to your mother, to your father? So it is for my respect. As a can, some people they don't have honestly. For the honestly is very important for our working in the society or in the organization. If the people they don't have honestly, so the tolerance, when we have the tolerance, we can make the honestly, we can improve the knowledge about to again honestly. Like we can tell them about the tolerance to issue or to solve the honestly in working in organization or in the society or social work. And the third, the people about physical, like physical or mental. So when the people about physical or mental, we can tell them about the mental, because when the people have broken heart, so some people when they don't have a tolerance, they tell the people they have a broken heart, so it is not good. We can tell the people they have the broken heart, so we don't do this. We must tell the people to motivate the people about the stronger, uh, go stronger, and to do something to happen, to do something to happy earnest. We don't go to a bad thing to the people that they broken heart. We can, because the people broken heart, we can easy to die. We can easy to fall down. So we can tell them about the important about the importance of the tolerance about the stronger of the happiness. And the last, I want to share my experience about the continue request, such as some people they work in the organization or in the society, they request they request some question to the organizer again and again, again and again. So the organizer they have the stress for the question, because the question said again and again, so it's not good to ask the organizer. So if I mean organizer, I can tell the questioner as me, you don't ask me again and again about this work because I tell you already. So I want to tell you about the tolerance in the working, because the working, when we have the tolerance in working, we can easy to be success in your work, in your institution and in the country. Thank you very much.
Wow, cool. Now we have another perspective that actually tolerance does exist even in the workplace.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Let's hear another perspective from Brother Kendricks. Would you like to share about any standards or boundary towards tolerance from your perspective, please?
I think in summary, yes, there are OB markers that are out of bounds areas where um, uh, discourse shouldn't occur, because discourse is obviously constructive discourse is a very good thing. Um, the negative discourse though is unfortunate, and at some point in time it is toxic. So in fact, I just saw a question that came in earlier from Ri and Anissa. When we believe that the ideal is tolerance, but the facts are very different from reality. Reality in response to intolerance will continue to occur. Yes, it will continue to occur, but you can do something about it. And I think I've mentioned it before. The role of a citizen in that sense is, if you feel that this cause or your tolerance has been hit, then it is your civic duty or responsibility to your social responsibility to voice out and say, yeah, I can't tolerate this anymore. And that's why there are movements like Me Too. I think Me Too is the most recent one, I guess, in that sense. Most of us who have heard of Me Too, yeah, something like that. So when you can't tolerate something any further, it's time to take a step back and see whether or not it is an issue. So tolerating too long also not a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, is there any boundaries or standard in your perspective about tolerance, Brother Kendrick?
I think the general consensus is
General consensus.
the general understanding is that the out of mouth markers are the standard child abuse, they call it nowadays they call it what do they call it online, not spoofing, but the defamation, slander, those are really out of bounds, and then obviously words that incite violence, act of violence, act of revenge, those are out of bounds. So yeah, constructive discourse is always appreciated, but not in those forms. Yeah, maybe Randa can help me there. yeah, policy.
Yes, maybe
Public
Brother Randa.
policy, probably,
Ah,
yeah. Maybe you can chime in a bit, public policy.
Public. Oh,
okay, okay. We're talking about standard of tolerance itself,
yes.
right? If you're going to talk about like specific standard that we should implement in our society, that's really ambiguous talk ever. Because if we are talking about what kind of risk standard, what's the number that we should put on in our society about the tolerance itself? Because in the public, okay, we're talking about public policy. There's a lot of things that we need to measure about if we're talking about tolerance, especially on its implementation, our policy, and so on. But here in your case, I think I would like to answer your questions like satisfactorily. So how do we set the standard of tolerance itself? Like the easier part. The easier part to set the standard is how do you want people to treat yourself? Like, how do you want people to treat yourself? How do you want people to respect yourself? And that is the standard that you need to set for yourself in order to respect other people and to let others too. Because when you're thinking that way, you also set rules and regulations that which part that need to be tolerated and which one need to be tolerated, and that will help you a lot in setting the standard itself. So because we have different values, we have our different intercultural things in our district or in our culture and so on. And by thinking of how to treat others and how to respect others as your standards of tolerance, that mean will help you better in understanding the tolerance itself. That's for me in this current era. For yeah, that's I think say what you could do if you are a bit confused how to set standard on tolerance.
Cool. So we have to treat others like we want others to treat us. Good quote. Thank you, Brother Randa and Brother Kendrick and Brother Navy for sharing. And I'd like to share the question from Beautypedia. She asks, speaking about intolerance, we know that we have to remember that do not harm the principle. Example, we may not tell victims bad experience about intolerance, but also we need to increase people awareness about intolerance. What do you think about this principle, Sister Celestial?
Can you please repeat the question?
Um, Speaking about intolerance, we are not allowed to harm the principle, right? For example, we are not
Okay.
allowed to sell victims bad experience about intolerance. What do you think?
If we're talking about intolerance or tolerance.
Intolerance. Intolerance, something not tolerating, something bad.
Okay. Um. Okay. So I'm really. I think like I'm confused with the question. It's really not clear to me. Like, if in. I'm so sorry, but can you please repeat it? The question because I accidentally lagged out because my internet connection interrupted.
Okay, this is the question from Beautypedia. She asks, speaking about intolerance, we know that we have to remember that do not harm principle. Example, we may not sell victims bad experience about intolerance, but also we need to increase people awareness about intolerance. What do you think? We have to make people aware, but we can't sell victims bad experience about it. What do you think?
Okay, so this is how I understand the question. Okay, so when we talk about intolerance, it's like not being open to other people's belief. It's like isolating yourself in like the contrary if we're talking about tolerance. And yeah, I agree with before before you understand yourself that you're really into intolerance before you become a tolerant person. of course, like the important thing here is that you have this awareness. That's the important thing here is we have to consider is that the awareness from, like from the differences among others. And uh that's how I get the question. Yeah.
So, what do you think about the principle not to sell the victim's bed, but you have to
not
increase the
not to
awareness?
sell. What do you mean about
Not to sell,
sell?
like
Like,
you share the victim's personal data about something
okay.
sexual harassment.
Okay. So, I'm really sorry. I was really confused with the context of the question. So that's why I'm really,
Okay,
I get,
my bad.
yeah, I'm really sorry. That's why I really had a hard time of, like understanding, like, what do you mean by sell? Okay.
Mm.
So, does the question mean like, like if you're into, does it talk about protecting the identity of the victim, meaning like not to sell it? Yes, it's important that you have to consider also the privacy of the victim. Like, that someone is a victim of this, but you really have to consider his or her or their privacy in the first place. Like if they wanted to open up in the society, like if that person confides that issue to, like, someone did this to me, and like, and she's not comfortable of sharing that issue to the community, because like when we're talking about intolerance, hey, they're often discriminated, they often experience, like being bullied, being degraded or mocked. So as a tolerant person, if you really have to it's important that you're aware of the issue, and at the same time you have to consider the privacy of a certain person, especially if that person confides this issue to you. And at the same time, if you wanted to help that person, like you really have to consider the side of the victim, because especially this is how I understand the context of the question. Like if someone is a rape victim, like a woman is really not comfortable of telling the issue, especially to her family, or I'm not sure if that if other women, but this is what other people experience. Like, like the most what the how they react to the issue, like, hey, like, what did you wear, like what did you wear, like, any like revealing clothes, do you wear any shorts? That's why you get raped. And like if a victim feels that, are you not doing, are you not, like, you don't get my point, like you're you're agreeing what the what the person did to me. Like, I want to be to use the word like he raped me, but like it's more on understanding the victim, and you really have to consider the privacy. That's it. I hope I get the question. I was able to answer the question.
Okay, I got you. The perspective from Sister Salsil was about agree about the principle not to sell the privacy and convince the people to aware more about tolerance.
Yeah, by
Okay,
being tolerant, by being open, okay, so meaning like if you're being open to people around you, it doesn't mean that you're going to expose or be open these issues, especially that victim confide this issue to you. You really have to consider the privacy of a certain individual.
got it. Roger that. Thank you, Sister Salsil. Well, we have
Yeah.
participant raise their hand. Okay, Sister Gabby Pangasa is
Okay,
the floor is yours.
hello everyone.
Hi.
My name is Gaby. I'm from Indonesia,
Yes.
and I
In
want
your
to
question.
ask. Yes, I want to ask about tolerance. About the wait a moment, yeah. How do you respond to the problem of blasphemy in some countries? And yeah, Run, we believe that the ideal is tolerance, but the facts are very different from reality. The reality its response to intolerance will continue to occur. The best answer from tolerance itself is to keep acting ideal. Why? Because tolerance means respecting and giving rights to fellow human beings. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Would you like to choose the speaker or you give
Uh,
me?
no, it's up to you. Which one for answer my ask?
Okay, I'd like
Yeah.
to ask
Okay.
Sister
Thank you so
Amira.
much.
Okay, thank you. And Sister Amira, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I not understand much about the question. Can you interpret it for me?
Okay, the thing that I got is
Okay. Okay.
toler.
Uh, this this is about talking about what shall I say? The blasphemy. The problem of blasphemy.
What's that?
Blasphemy. Okay.
Plus money?
Maybe I want to share on text and you can see. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Wait. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Yeah, how do you respond the problem of blasphemy in some countries?
I forget to unmute. Blasphemy is the act of or offense of speaking about God or something sacred things. Is it true, Sister Gabby?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So, Sister Amira, what do you think about that? Because in reality, we have that a lot about blasphemy action. Sister Amira, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you pass it to the other speakers first?
Okay. So, what do you think about that, Brother Nevi? Blasphemy about blasphemy in reality. Oh, that sounds good. Blasphemy in reality.
Okay, okay. Well, uh, thank you for your question. The blasphemy, we focus on the abuse, right? Or bad thing, right?
Yes, a bad thing
Uh, so
about
so uh, so
sacred
yeah.
things
So the
like
audience
God.
audience asked about the tolerant abuse or tolerant blasphemy in the country, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I say in Cambodia or general for the people they I think I focus on the religion. In Cambodia we have three religion like Buddhism, Islam, and Christian, and one and other religions. So some people, no all people, some people they believe in the Buddhism and they don't take care about the Muslim. They don't won't understand about the Muslim, and they abuse the blasphemy in the Muslim. So it is not good to live in the society because it will be make discrimination about the religion, about the respect to the religion. So abuse or blasphemy, the people just don't want to take the blasphemy because the blasphemy in the Cambodian religion is not good. Because why? Because the Cambodian government they say Cambodia people he open all the religions. If they want to take Muslim, they can go. If they want to take Buddhism, they can go. If they want to take Christian, they can go. They have freedom to believe in some religion in Cambodia. So if it has abused or it has blasphemy, the religion in Cambodia is not go on, maybe back because not good thing or not good idea to Cambodian development. So this is my opinion. I say in my Cambodian. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Nafi. So in Cambodia, blasphemy actually not a good one, but government in Cambodia allow the Cambodians to go for their belief,
Yes,
such as Buddhism, Muslim, or even
yes,
Christian.
yes. I
Okay.
say yes.
Cool.
I say some Cambodian know all. Some
Okay.
Cambodian they believe in the religion. They abuse the another religion beside their religion because the thing their religion is very important only, but they don't think about other religion. So it's abuse or blasphemy Cambodia.
Okay. Does Sister Gabby get the answer? Or you want something else, Sister Gabby, from Brother Nafi? Or maybe we can ask Sister Amira. Sister Gabby, are you satisfied? Or
Maybe the other speaker have a different what is it? The different mindset or different thinking about that. Can I ask you, can I the other speaker to answer my question?
well, seems like Sister Celestial would like to add some answers. Yes.
Yes, I would like to try to give an answer to this because earlier we mentioned about being tolerant. It means that you're open to diversity, you're open to differences. But when it comes to blasphemy, like we're talking about harming other people's belief. It does not mean that you're a tolerant person. You give a key to other people to disrespect your beliefs because we're talking about like exchanging of mutual respect, right? So it doesn't also mean that you're a tolerant person, that it you allowed other people to disrespect or like humiliate, or what you said, like blasphemy the other gods, because that's your belief and that's how you believe it. And that's what uh uh okay, because it means that you're starting to add hatreds to other, meaning that other people wanted to become superior to other groups, that they want like other, because of these certain beliefs, they wanted to eliminate other groups because they wanted to become superior. And like it involves harming other people's lives, which is really really not right. Being tolerant means that you're open to diversity in your community, but it doesn't mean that when someone disrespect, because when we're talking about disrespect, it means that when you're exchanging like dialogues between one another, you can identify it by yourself, like when you're talking with this certain person, you can feel that you can identify, no, you're not in a certain way, that when it trying to attacks you personally, when the person tries to attacks you, tries to attack you personally and harm you, like when it involves like harming you physically or abuse you in any forms of abuse, which is really not a good way. Because when we're talking about tolerance, it doesn't mean that we're because as what mentioned by Sister Amira earlier, to her answer to question number one um asked by asked by the moderator of this event. Like she mentioned that their intolerance, there's negative and positive. So when we mentioned about being open to diversity, that's that's the positive way of tolerance. However, um, it could not also be considered as intolerance, because if you're a tolerant person, um you don't tolerate that kind of intolerance towards you. So how are you going to act that way? So it's really challenging, because it's really wide, especially when it involves a country, and especially that Gabby asked, like how do you act if a country act like blasphemy of acts about blasphemy. I think like as a certain individual, I don't think I'm not how are you going to act with that one? Well, stand on your ground, of course. That's an ideal thing to do. But if you're really on the reality, um, I don't. I'm not quite sure if it could fall into certain law where because it could not fall to because if it blasphemates, I know that's that word exists. But if that person harm your belief or harm you physically, well, it could also fall into the category of like we have laws that protect us, especially when it harms us, when it abuses physically or any form of abuse because um I think like if it could be de-escalate, like if you could de-escalate it in a conversation, hey, that's when we're talking about tolerant also like meaning that we're creating a positive community of being open, but it doesn't mean that we're welcoming any form of abuse. So first, you're open, but you're going to enlighten that person. Like you're going to explain, hey, I don't. We may not agree that we don't share the same beliefs about our gods, but I don't give you that card to disrespect me. So that gives you a way also to like help to have this healthy discourse to enlighten that person that you can disagree with what I believe, but I don't give you that access to harm me. So that's the way that you can explain in a positive way, but you don't have also to act the way that person because we can be the bigger person in that certain situation, like when we're experiencing mock, but no, we don't have to humiliate in return because we wanted in a tolerant community, we wanted to be the bigger person. So how are you going to act? Should you act in the same way that the person does to you, or are you going to be the bigger person, give way to enlighten them? So that's it. I hope I'm able to answer your question, Gabby.
Thank you, Sister Celestine and Sister Gabby.
Yeah,
Any
it's
feedback?
enough. Yes, thank you so much.
Wow, sounds like you're satisfied.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, this is from Ruang International. Brother Dianli asked a question. How do we differentiate between tolerance and indiscipline? Because people often associate tolerance with all the form of disciplines. What do you think, Brother Randa?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
How do we differentiate between tolerance and indiscipline? Because people often associate the tolerance with all the forms of discipline. Sorry, Sister Celestial. Would you like to mute the microphone, please? Thank you. So, Brother Randa, the floor is yours.
How do we relate tolerance and indisciplines, right?
Yes.
That's the question. Uh, okay. I think it should go back to about to respond the previous questions also because quite relate, I think, because we really talk about tolerance and discipline and so on. Uh, every countries and every nation have their own law or they have a policy on how to limit the tolerance itself, like which certain of conduct need to be tolerated and which one is not, and also categories that you violate the law and so on, and there are also policy on that. And if you're talking about tolerance and disciplines, uh, well, there's certain level that we need to talk about. If we are talking in communities, they have their own like cultural values on how to deal with these things. And if you're talking about national things, we have our policy, right? And if you're talking in international level, we also have the Declaration of Human Rights and so on. And that is how I react if you are talking about tolerance or indiscipline.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Randa. How about Sister Amira? Do you have any perspective about that? Sister Amira, are you there? Oh, seems like we lost connection with Sister Amira. Okay, let's move. What do you think about the question, Brother Nafi? Because Brother Randa said It depends on which stage we talk about when we talk about tolerance and discipline. And how about you?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your audience question. Are you hear me?
Oh, yes. The question, how do we differentiate between tolerance and indiscipline?
Indiscipline, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question from the audience. Mm, we can think both about the tolerance and the indiscipline. Tolerance we focus on the something on the ability on the people ability to think about the respect that when they meet old people they should respect to the old people because it's polite in the society as well in Cambodian society. So about the indiscipline, indiscipline is the opposite discipline, right? In discipline, we focus on the bad thing, on the bad idea, on the bad ability to do something, to think about that they want, but it is not good to do like this. And in discipline, when they apply in the work in the society, it is not good in the future because it is not very important for apply in the Cambodian society as well in the general society. So two different, I think for this is my expectation or my perspective. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Brother Nafi. So, okay. Oh, well, let's see the time. Wow, it's past 7. We should conclude. Before we close, I'm going to conclude the discussion we have for 2 hours. We we talk about tolerance among us. As I mentioned before, Among Us like the game. So we find the imposter, right? The imposter was about the intolerance, disrespect, and ego, our ego. So, as the speakers sharing with us, we have things that the basic of the tolerance is are interreligious and cultural, but it may have another kind of tolerance, such as gender equality in economy and even the what we said again about the sharing information. Okay, and the highlighting that we have from our speakers in ASEAN, I'm sorry, in ASEAN, we have what we call it, or hand in hand together, highlighted since 1976 about that issues, so we can live in peace and we can face the challenge, the struggles that might happen in the future. Well, that's about the thing we have. I'd like to what we call oh yeah, I'd like to call the speakers to give the closing statement, like quote, sharing stories about tolerance to the audience, please. Starting with Brother Ranja, any closing statement or idea you'd like to share?
Which one? Me first?
Yes, because you seem like ready.
Okay, as closing statement should be right? Isn't it? Well, if you are talking about tolerance, in every days in our life, there is always diversity that we face or diversity that we will dealing with later on. It could sometimes trigger conflict and may not and may lead to violence in our society. And my closing statement is tolerance is really important for every one of us. Knowing what's need to be done and what's to do in doing on how to respect others is really, really important. But what's more important is do know how to resolve the conflict itself if it's occurred. So that's how we could create a more inclusive society and more inclusive community as a youth. That's for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Anda. And Brother Nevi, would you like to share it? Your
Okay. For the last but not least, I want to share a short statement. The first, I would like to thank you for the audience that joined this program. And today it is the International Day for Tolerance, right? On 16 November 2020. So I encourage to the audience or speaker here, I want to say we must have tolerance. We must have tolerance in the society. Because why? The tolerance can help us to rise in the future. Thank you very much.
wow, short and hit the right. And next, Sister Celestial, would you like to share quote, something inspiring?
Okay, so I would like to thank the moderator or the moderator in this event for inviting me as a speaker. Like I'm just like I'm just an individual who is also like seeing things on Facebook like harming and like seeing a lot of things on my social medias, and I'm really glad that I was able to share in this platform those things that I learned, not just from other people also that shared this value to me. And I'm also thankful for those who raised their questions in the chat box or even unmute themselves for raising those questions, because it also opened those questions really opened my head to other possibilities about tolerance. And yeah, in a progressive society, like this tolerance is really important. And I would like to remind ourselves that if you see yourself like doesn't mean that you're a tolerant person, you welcome any form of abuse. But if that moment comes, be the bigger person, and if you know that you're not harming other, be like should stand up on your ground, and that's it.
I forget to unmute. Okay, thank you, Sister Celestial. I'd like to hear from Brother Kendrick, please.
Let's see. So to close off, what I would like to just highlight is each and every one of us, an individual, you contribute to society in different ways. You constitute part of that social fabric uh, that is your country, the place that you live in. So whether it's tolerance, it's acceptance, or it's discourse, positive, constructive discourse, it is all part and parcel of one's way to uh, maintain that social fabric. So to foster ASEAN identity is very important. To foster an international identity is even more important. But at the root of it all, it's actually to remember that as an individual, there's so much you can do. With friends that you can count on, there's even more that you can do.
That's it. Okay, thank you, Brother Kendrick. And we get Sister Amira back. So, Sister
Yeah.
Amira, would you like to share the closing statement,
All
your
right.
inspiring stories?
Okay. Sorry for actually I want to sorry because not all question I can answer. And actually I want to thank you for all the organizer, moderator, and all the organizer that conduct this talk session. So I would like to share that if you want to have a life of tolerance that smooth, that get a healthy and harmony, we have to welcome everyone, which we have to treat everyone as the same way. And the quotes that I want to share is, we are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided. You get it, right? So for having peace and harmony, we have to be tolerance and accepting each other and respect. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Yay, I got it, Sister Amira. Okay, guys, we are at the edge of the event of this talk show. So once again, I'm gonna remind you, beware of the imposter. Because remember, we are one. ASEAN, we are friends, right? Okay, I'm gonna send back the floor to Brother Jenly. The floor is yours, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ingrid, for moderate this talk show. It's so amazing and memorable talk show for us in International Tolerance Day today. Hopefully all the knowledge, all the information, all the what is something experience for us by this talk show uh, can be inspiring us to uh, keep it up our spirit of tolerance and as the young generation to always to uh, take action as the agent of uh, tolerance in our side and also hopefully all the participants stay healthy and happy always and I behalf on Ruang International say thank you to Mr. Navi from Cambodia, the Royal University of Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and we say thank you to Mr. Kendrick Goh from Youth of Singapore. He's my friend. Okay, and I like to say thank you for Amira from University Teknologi Mara Shah Alam dari from Malaysia, and I would like to say thank you to Celeste Bernas from Philippines, the University of Mindanao, Philippines, and the last but not least, to my friend Randa Sandita from Indonesia to present here to sharing with us. Thank you all, and uh, I also like to say thank you to all participants already join our talk show today. Uh, Without you all, this talk show can be something for us. And I think in the end of this talk show, I invite to you all to turn on your video and we take a photo session. Okay, it's something for me. I look all the participants come from any countries, not only from Indonesia, not only from Cambodia, not only from Malaysia, not only from Philippines, not only from Singapore, but uh, various ASEAN countries. So we're so grateful uh, meet you all in this Zoom meeting. Maybe in another time we can meet directly face to face with you all. Okay, you all ready to turn on your video? Okay. Okay, I invite this is Floren Badiang. Can you turn on your video? Maybe Gaby Pangasa or any participants. Adinda, maybe Thessalonica, Rahel. I'm sorry, I mentioned one by one. Dea, Charles, Neni, Milka. It's so various name here. Okay, Milka. Okay, I think all participants already turned on the video. Okay, I would like to take photo session. Okay, please give your best smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next screen. Okay, keep smile and turn on your video. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the last. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, I think enough. Thank you all for the insightful today.
Yeah, apologies, have to get to a next event. Catch you also next time. Yeah.
Okay, see you,
Thank
Brother
you very
Chandler.
much. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Magaling salamat.
Thank you.
Pakunhan.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Have a great night all. Don't skip dinner. Remember.
Thank you, Amira. Thank you, Nafe.
Thank you. Thank you too.
If you want to see our this talk show, you can uh, search directly to the YouTube Ruang International.